Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Borough of Englewood Cliffs special meeting of Mayor and Council. Today is May 21st, 2018. It's 6:43 p.m. I call the meeting to order. Madam Clerk, have a roll call, please.
Mayor Kranjak?
Here.
Councilperson Zaversa?
Here.
E. Park? Here. O. Here. Ignoro? Here. M. Park?
Here.
Wu?
Here.
CFO?
Here.
CFO Pataglia, and Borough Administrator Barber.
Yes, here. Barber, thank you. Could you all please rise for the flag salute and remain standing after for a moment of silence? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Let's just have a moment of silence for the teacher and student who died in the Paramus school bus crash, for their families and for those injured and their families and their community, and also for the school shooting in Santa Fe. Thank you. Madam Clerk, would you please read into the record the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Adequate notice of this meeting was given to the press and posted as required. Date and time of this meeting was legally given as required by the Open Public Meetings Act. This notice is on file with the municipal clerk and posted on the bulletin board. Minutes of this meeting will be made available to the public upon the completion of typing and proofreading by the municipal clerk.
Thank you. I just want to compliment and thank our police department. They supervised the last mile and a half of the Grand Fondo bike race yesterday. So, coming up from the boat basin, it was very nice to see them all there. It was mile 99, so I only had one more mile to go after that. And we got there, so 5,000 other people got there as well. So, it was well done, well organized, and safe. And I encourage everybody, I see some young guys in the audience next year, break out your bikes. It's only 100 miles. Can I have a motion to open up to the public?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So if there's anyone from the public who wishes to be heard, just raise your hand, wait for me to recognize you, and then come up to the microphone on that table, have a seat, relax, and tell us what's on your mind. State your name and address. Okay, seeing and hearing no one from the public, can I have a motion to close the public portion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thanks. We as a council need to go into closed session, which means that we go into that room and you guys get to sit out here and wait for us to come back. So I can have a motion to go into closed session?
1 second, Mayor, I have a change to the motion for closed session. Please delete circle number 4 under item number 4, claim for payment of legal bills for L. Cohen Esquire.
All right.
I was confusing my litigations. That's not on the Lauren Eastwood case.
We have so few of them, so it's hard to imagine.
But we're going to still talk about it.
No, we are not going to
All
talk
right,
about
so,
that. Wait.
I would like to talk about it.
Well, you can talk about it, but it has to be, Lizette, a separate heading of contract negotiation, and that will be item number 5.
All right. So it stays on, but it says number 5 now.
Right.
Okay. Madam Clerk, would you please read the, actually, let's do a vote first to go into closed session. Can I have a motion to go into closed session?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Madam Clerk, would you please read the appropriate language for the record for us to go into closed session?
Resolution 18-111. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs has deemed it necessary to go into closed session to discuss certain confidential matters, and whereas the minutes of the closed session will remain confidential as permitted under the Open Public Meetings Act, or shall be released when there is no further need for confidentiality as authorized by the Borough Attorney. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Englewood Cliffs will go into closed session for the following matters as permitted under Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12. Pending litigation. Appeal of A. Senator on volunteer background check. Number 2, Mura versus Englewood Cliffs. Number 3, Telza versus Englewood Cliffs. Pending litigation and contract negotiations. Eastwood versus Borough. Status, RFQ responses, attorney appointments, and under contract negotiations, claim for payment of legal bill L. Cohen Esquire.
Okay. Thank you. So we're probably going to be about a half hour, so if anybody wants to run to the bicycle club, now's a good time to do that.
Can you do it again?
We got to do it over because the recording was not on. Can I have a motion to come out of closed session, please?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we're also going to,
I need to correct the closed session resolution.
all right, do that first.
Okay, we are correcting the closed session resolution for item number 5. That was in closed session due to pending litigation entitled Ellen Park versus the Borough with the Bergen docket number. And it reads, claim for payment of legal bill of L. Cohen Esquire as on the agenda. It is also contract, and that's why we went into closed, because it is both pending litigation and contract.
Can you lower your microphone, so...
Did you get it, though?
Yeah, is it turned on?
All right, and we're also going to amend the agenda to delete 18-112, because we didn't have enough council people show up to sign checks today. So, can I have a resolution, or a motion rather, to move in 18-113,
I don't believe you need a motion to move.
the authorized increase in the
No,
first
just
school
pulling it.
taxes?
No, it's
Yeah, the other one.
Yeah,
I'm on 113, I pulled 112.
thank you.
So can I have a motion for 113? So moved.
Second.
Have a roll call, please?
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo.
Yes. Okay. Can I have a motion to move in 18-114, authorized advertisement of summer camp personnel?
Second.
Give a roll call?
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
15?
Okay, 115, authorized clerk to advertise for DPW seasonal help. Can I have a motion for that?
Second.
Give a roll call?
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo.
Yes. Yeah, so that's a historic moment. We had 3 unanimous yes votes on 3 different resolutions. Can I have a motion for, I'm sorry, what's that?
Just to ask if anyone has any questions
On what?
on 116.
Does anybody have any questions on 116, appointment of hearing officer? 116, appointment of hearing officer?
Just one question.
Yes, go
Can I have
ahead.
your mic, please?
Sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear you.
So we have, I read it briefly, this is a whole year? Don't we usually do hearing officer by,
By the matter?
Yeah.
We just thought it'd be simpler to just have one person be available for the year, for any matter.
we're okay to do that?
Actually, you know what, there may be a problem with that, because what if, someone has a conflict with this hearing officer down the road?
Well, we have 2 hearing officers. We previously appointed, another hearing officer, and now we have a second one. And I did send out, or have the borough clerk send out all the information. And with respect to the hearing officer, this one is not connected with anything with the Borough of Englewood Cliffs that I am aware of. Now, if a hearing matter comes up where in walks an associate from his law firm from 20 years ago, he will have to defer, and we will use the other one. This is a backup.
You should
I understand.
consider- You would consider deferring.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's up to him to determine recusal if he has a conflict with the parties appearing before him.
We know nothing about this guy.
So for the public's
talking
purpose,
about?
hold on. For the public's sake, what this is from time to time, we have hearings mandated by different rights of employees. So rather than have to appoint a different hearing officer for every matter, the thought was to create some government efficiency here and just have one person on standby, provided he doesn't have a conflict or she doesn't have a conflict, and that's what this is.
And it's not limited to police matters, DPW matters, clerk issue matters. It's a hearing officer for the borough for any kind of matter.
Have a motion?
So, I have a question then. It's not a particular matter, but then what if what if he sits on a matter that someone else is conflicted up here on?
In other words, if it's,
This is a general appointment for the year.
right, so can you sit on police matters? On Mike Chaffee matters?
Who?
This guy.
Person? He
Yeah.
may. Sure he may.
Then how does,
Carol gets a vote now.
What I'm saying is...
Everybody, concern you for yourself, and I can vote for myself.
I don't think we have to
I-
vote now.
Here we go. Stop.
That's
I have a
unbelievable.
question, though.
All right, then she has a question, you have an answer. Go ahead.
I gave you an answer, that he's not limited to police matters, he could be assigned to police matters. He could be assigned to anything for the borough that requires a hearing.
Can I ask you a question too, Anne Marie? What was the reason that you decided to do it this way? Like, for assigning someone, appointing someone for the rest of the year?
I
It's not a normal...
I actually had these discussions with Catherine Steinell in November and December as to both attorney appointments and hearing officer. I wanted 2 or 3 attorneys to be appointed just to have them in our pocket for emergencies. She did not accept my recommendation to do it that way. And at this point, that's what we're doing. Last month, we appointed 2 lawyers for the rest of the year, unconnected to any matter, and we gave the borough administrator or the mayor the ability to assign matters to them. We did that in March. One second. This one is, again, for a general appointment. It should be done every January. In this borough, in this current litigious state, we should have 3 or 4 lawyers just for the borough, or council members as we need them, and we should have at least 2 and maybe 3 hearing officers.
So, just to be clear,
Yeah.
if we appoint this person,
Yeah.
and Carol votes,
Yeah.
this person cannot hear any matters regarding Chief Chaffee.
No, I didn't say
That's not what
that.
you said. That's what you
I
said.
said the hearing officer can be assigned to any matters. I'm not discussing Carol's voting. I'm discussing this
If
resolution.
there's an order out there saying she can't vote on matters,
Well, there's also a lawsuit where it says that you can't vote on police matters, right? So, I mean, look.
There's not an
we need
order
to-
out there.
We need to appoint someone generically to be in a roster for us to be able to vote.
No.
Can I just add something if you don't mind, because Mayor's correct on that.
This is Jamie Barbieri,
Yeah.
the new office.
I'm sorry, but a lot of times what happens here, towns, what they do is they hire conflict attorneys. And the reason for that is so that if, say, any of the township attorneys that you have a conflict, you have a backup, which means you don't have to go out to any type of RFQs. Now, same thing with a hearing officer. A hearing officer, what they would do, a hearing officer, when you have a case that comes up, if a employer is to sue the town, you already have that hearing officer. Now, if I'm incorrect, but that's exactly how it works. It protects the town. You don't have to go out to RFQ, because it saves a lot of time, and that's one of the reasons why municipalities and boroughs do it.
That may be a typical situation that you're referring to, but in this situation, in our town, there is an order out there where one of the council persons cannot vote on any matters related to the chief, and yet we are taking a vote on a hearing officer, where that hearing officer may hear a case related to the chief. So I don't think this is a good idea, Anne Marie.
Okay.
we're opening ourselves to liability again.
I understand, and I think that, as I said, you can read the resolution, you can read what it says, you can make a decision as to your voting, and anyone else in
May I?
the
Point of
chamber
order.
can make
All
it.
right.
Point of order.
You have the
Point of
floor.
order.
Go
Thank you. First of all, no one even asked me how I'm voting, and if I'm voting. And it's assumption, it's quite presumptuous on all of your parts to think how I'm going to be voting or not going to be voting. I would appreciate, going forward, that, I've always done the right thing. I've always voted correctly. If I ever had a question, I consulted with the borough attorney, and proceeded accordingly. That being said, Councilwoman Park, you also have been told that you cannot vote on certain matters regarding Chief Chaffee.
By who? By Anne Marie?
I advise you to please worry about your own conflicts.
Okay.
And I might add, remind the 3 of you, you are all being sued because of this issue right now. So I can, take care of how I should be voting or not be voting, and will always do the right thing.
All right.
Thank you.
All due
And I
respect,
didn't
Carol.
need- By the way,
right, you don't
I
get a
did
vote.
not need a court order
You
to
need to be
tell me.
recognized. Let's revert to Robert's Rules of Order.
Thank you.
Okay, you questions come to me, then I filter them. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. You have a point of order?
Yes, point of
What would you
order.
like to say?
Carol, this is not personal. In other words, I understand you're taking advice from the borough attorney. And so my question was to the borough attorney, and it wasn't any, I'm not trying to point you out, but there is an order out there, right?
An order filed by political foes for a
It's a
political
court order, though.
headline. And let's just leave it like that.
I mean,
Okay.
but you also
Okay.
have to be honest when you say things. You were definitely pointing to her, because you said Carol McMorro.
Because there's a court order.
All right.
Okay, so,
I did
I
not
need
need
a
a court
motion.
order to tell me what to do. It's a waste of time.
anyway, yeah.
Let me have a motion. Is there a motion
For 116,
for 116?
So moved.
second.
Second.
Give a roll call.
Councilpersons Aversa?
No.
E. Park?
No.
O.
No.
McMorro?
Abstain.
M. Park?
No.
Woo?
No.
Okay.
Doesn't pass.
All right, doesn't pass. We'll just go back to the old way of appointing a hearing officer for every matter that comes before us, that requires a hearing officer. 117, authorization to extend not to exceed for Harbor Consultants alternate planner.
So moved.
The second? Second. Roll call?
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
117. E. Park? O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
118, authorization to extend not to exceed for Harbor Consultants alternate conflict engineer / surveyor.
So moved.
Second.
The roll call?
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo.
Yes.
Okay,
119, the borough attorney needs to discuss some items.
119, 120, 121, of the borough attorney, take care of those.
Yes, I'm just, making an amendment to the resolution itself for all three of the resolutions in the, in the title, we are going to say authorizing execution of the reservation of rights letter and authorizing the execution of the professional services contract.
Where, I'm sorry?
In the title, it will be authorizing the execution of the reservation of rights letter
On the title.
and the execution of a professional services contract,
So what I have on
along with the
agenda...
appointment,
Okay.
along with the appointment, we're gonna do all three in the same thing. In the last paragraph,
Yep.
Mayor Mario M. Kranchak is authorized to execute the borough's reservation of rights letter and authorized to execute the professional services contract for the appointed lawyer, and the borough clerk is authorized to attest to both documents. Now, with those changes, I believe there are going to be motions filling in the blank of the attorneys, and however the motions go is how those filling in of the blanks will occur.
I make a motion for Resolution 118-119 to appoint Grace, the firm of Grace Memorial.
To Gloria O. That's for Gloria.
So moved.
Second. Roll call?
This is for 119, correct?
Yes, Laura.
Right, this is for Gloria O. and the resolution, the,
I'll get the wording from you again.
Grace Memorial LLP, I think they are.
Okay. Councilpersons Aversa?
No.
E. Park?
No.
O.
No.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Woo?
Yes.
Mayor, it's a tie.
Yes.
Point of order?
Go through all resolutions and make them aggregate.
Right.
No, I want to make, yeah,
Let's finish.
point of order?
Do that, no. Yeah, what do you?
We want to make a motion, and I've told you this before, is that, and we can take a vote. So, Gloria did not want the attorney that you just assigned her. She wanted Carmina Lampe. So I said we make a motion to assign Carmina Lampe. We'll take a vote.
We already appointed one.
Well,
It's
let's,
been done.
let's,
Already.
In fact, we're on the next one now, we're on
That's
119.
already been appointed.
so I make a motion to assign John Scatino for myself. All right, so let's just take the vote.
You-
No?
Absolutely,
That's
that's
a
how to do it.
Gloria, you can't make...
Look, I
Sorry, can you make-
can't honor that motion.
I make
It's just so
motion
bizarre.
for John Scatino to represent Ellen Park
And which matter?
on Eastwood versus Ellen Park.
And is John Scatino now suing the Borough of Englewood Cliffs? In another matter?
For emails, yes, that you haven't produced yet.
Another matter? So you want the borough, who's being sued by an attorney...
Unless you can tell me what the conflict is,
Yeah, listen, we don't have to.
all right. Unless you can tell me what the conflict is, let's just take the vote. I don't know.
I'll second that.
Yeah, just take the vote.
You can have your vote.
Yeah, just-
I second it.
Go for another-
Okay.
I'm not sure
Yeah.
who moved it.
I did.
Gloria
Gloria.
moved it, Ed seconded, and
Councilperson Zaversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
No.
M. Park,
No.
Wu,
No.
Mayor, it's a tie.
no. You have a motion?
A motion for resolution, 118, I mean, sorry,
119.
18,
Oh, we did
no,
19.
121.
120.
121,
121 for Ed.
yes.
All right.
Murphy, McKeon, law firm.
Second. Give a roll call.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes, I can't vote for me? Oh, then yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
No.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu,
Yes.
Okay, and we're, for now, we're deleting 120, taking it off the agenda, correct?
Well, we're gonna get a special meeting date immediately.
All right, so 120 is going to require another meeting, because we don't have anyone else to appoint there for Councilwoman Ellen Park.
Can we do that before we adjourn, try to get a special
Yes,
meeting?
yes.
When, today?
Everybody can check their
All
calendars.
right,
and just-
that's after the meeting's over. All right, so we're at the agenda part where we do introduction of the 2018 municipal budget, first reading. First point of order is 18-11, exceed budget and establish cap bank. Public hearing on this will be on June 26th.
maybe the title. Calendar ordinance 2018-11, calendar year 2018 ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank, NJSA 48:4-45.14, with a public hearing date of June 26th. We need a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Councilpersons Aversa,
Yes.
E. Park,
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro,
Yes.
M. Park,
Yes.
Wu.
Yes.
Resolution?
So next one is Resolution 18-122, certificate of compliance with the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Do you have a motion?
Point of order.
Yes.
Can I ask the borough attorney what this is all about?
Yes. And by the way, I discussed this
Okay.
before the meeting. This is a new requirement that is being required probably under our financial statutory laws and regulations issued by DLGS, Local Finance Board. And we've seen this more and more in the contracts that we are signing for the police, for example, same type of thing. Certificate of Compliance with Equal Employment Opportunity Commission, if you read it carefully, it is certifying that the borough's hiring practices are in compliance with Equal Opportunity Commission rules and regulations, which basically says you can't discriminate on the basis of age, sex, gender, and all the rest of the things the law applies to. It does not make a representation other than the borough has neutral hiring practices that meet the EEOC Commission's requirements. We do, in fact, have, for example, a new ordinance, relatively new, passed just before I came on board, of a hiring ordinance for the police. It is gender neutral, it is religious neutral, it is sex neutral, et cetera, et cetera. When we go out to hire for other employees that I've seen, all of our requirements are neutral and in accordance with the EEOC. So it's my opinion that you can legitimately vote on this, depending upon if you believe the borough's hiring practices and policies are in accordance with the EEOC.
One of the new items that are protected information are the consideration of an individual's criminal history also, so that's also in there now. So we as a group have adopted new hiring policies for the borough to make sure that we're in compliance, and that's all I'll say on that, because right now we are.
Make a motion.
Second.
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Resolution 18-123, introduction of the 2018 municipal budget, with a public hearing for June 26, 2018, and I'll let the clerk read the full title. That wasn't it.
1 second, I'm sorry. Be it resolved that the following statements of revenue and appropriation shall constitute the approved municipal budget for 2018. Borough of Englewood Cliffs Municipal Budget.
Okay, give a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Give a roll call.
Councilpersons Aversa?
Yes.
E. Park?
Yes.
O.
Yes.
McMorro?
Yes.
M. Park?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a motion to adjourn, please?
No, point of order, no.
You have
No,
more?
not yet. We want to look at the special meeting dates while we have everybody
I
here.
don't run.
Sorry? Does anybody have their calendars?
No, I
We
don't.
have,
All right, so Gloria, you don't have your calendar. We've asked you so many times to bring your calendar to these meetings, because this is what we do at these meetings.
Well, how many special meetings do we need?
Well, that's all really funny, but just, everybody else has their calendars.
I
here.
don't
I have
have mine,
mine.
I'm sorry.
Can you just bring your calendars?
I try to remember next time.
You don't have it on your iPhone?
I do not.
Okay.
okay, so can the rest of us just look at our dates for a special meeting?
Well, it's,
What's the meeting for?
To appoint an attorney?
Minimally, to appoint an attorney
Right.
for a council member, Park. Minimally, there may be other things,
Oh, let's just,
minimally.
It may or may not be necessary.
can we just look at the dates, please? What do you have availability?
Something for you.
Okay, I'm looking at the calendar.
Friday, Monday, Tuesday, give me a few days.
Next week?
Next week, yeah.
Monday's Memorial Day.
Monday is a Memorial Day.
29th, Tuesday? 29th in the morning?
I'm not sure.
29, I'm okay.
29th in the morning? Tuesday, let's set the date now.
That's
Just whenever-
okay with me, so.
It's okay with you?
What time?
Whatever, morning.
8 o'clock? I could do.
Fine with me? Okay with you?
Yeah, I'm okay. Yes.
morning?
8
Yeah.
o'clock?
8 o'clock.
service.
No, Tuesday,
Oh, Tuesday, sorry, okay.
29th. Mayor?
that's fine.
Okay.
29th at 8 o'clock.
29th, 8 a.m. Was that? Was that? 29th, 8 a.m.
I got it.
Oh, well, I didn't hear.
Can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
Motion's in, and wait for a second.
Oh, motion thing.
Where do you sign?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Where do you sign here?
I don't know.
On the line.